Right. Hi, good evening. When I was first invited to Omani Human Resource Association, I was thinking that it was very daring to invite an economist. We are always assumed to be homo economicus, too rational, minimizing costs, maximizing profits. Well, HR is much more than that. But then I thought, well, I'll take my chances and we'll try to be nice, calm, and not too much as a homo economicus. Today I was following the topic, the very exciting topics that has been presented in the conference. And to start with, it took me time, but not so long. This is a place in Oman, it's called Wakan, and it was shared, these photos are shared recently, just now, from a friend on Instagram, and when you look into these, you wouldn't have the first impression of Oman, it would be somewhere else. And if I tell you that these are apricot trees for your more excitement and amusement, blossoming in Wakan. أشجار مشمش في قرية وكان في عمان. In fact, what is really exciting here, the diversity of the climate, the diversity of the potential for agriculture. I have been recently to Salalah, deep down in the south, and I had the chance to go to an area that runs back into the ancient time, Samahram. It was an ancient port where pharaohs used to go there to collect frankincense and take it back to their temples. Agriculture goes deep down in history in Oman. That was my impression, but then I wanted to have this rational touch of things. I digged out some figures and numbers, and I found out that there are three important areas where in Oman we produce agricultural crops. Primarily Dhofar, Al-Sharqiya, south and north, Al-Batina, south and north, and these constitute the largest percentage of areas where they produce agriculture. Of course, if we go for vegetables, we see around 1 million ton in the year of 2016. Tomato is an important crop. I dig down and I went into farms and they managed to actually export to some prestigious markets, Japan, Europe. It's really high quality product, but too little. The potential is there, but the size is limited. I digged further down to see what is it in there for agriculture in Oman. I tried to rely on most updated data from the FAO, Our World in Data, and here we have potato production in the world, marked by colors. And we see Oman lying low in terms of production, only 12,000 ton. Official figures put the number a little higher, but never mind. خلينا ما نفكر كتير بالرقم، خلينا نفكر بالرانكينج. The surrounding area of Oman, they produce more. Let's go to another crop, tomato. We see Oman getting a more reddish color, so they're producing more in terms of tomato, and it comes at about 300,000 ton of tomato. If we go further, chicken meat production, we see Oman going further down. Although Yemen, next door, they produce even more. Climate in Oman allows for chicken production. For 9 months, with low production costs, we can produce more chicken and eggs. So what lies in these limited figures of production despite the potential? Cereal production, and this is primarily taking shape in the south, where I have been to Thamrid, Najd, and we see people are farming more, even wheat, onion, watermelon. So the potential, again, is there. Value of agricultural production. Of course, for us, what matters, money. How much money are we making out of it? According to the FAO, same website that is projecting data on agricultural products, it's about $500 million in 2021. Official figures, they indicate around 1.2 billion. Never mind, my point is Oman has a potential for agricultural production increase, and they are producing less than their potential. From outsourcing to intellectual offshoring. I want to go back to the 60s and 70s and talk now technology, not farming and not agriculture. Something about technology that can be very transformative. And something in late 60s and early 70s happened with technology that has transformed how the world does production, however, in industry. And it was the surge of outsourcing. يلي صار بالسبعينات كان تكنولوجي هي the invisible hand of technology كان IBM 360. قبل كان كل شيء يتصنع بنفس المصنع. IBM 360, it was the first design where it allows production to be plug compatible. فيني أعمل المذر بورد بقرنة، الكيبورد بقرنة، السيمي كوندكتور بقرنة، والمايكرو بروسيسور بقرنة. عم شو صار؟ صار في possibility for outsourcing to lower cost locations. هذا عمل تغير كتير كبير بالعالم. إذا بتطلع بال 1960 وبشوف التوزع العالمي للإنتاج، بلاقي إن North America and Europe constituting around 60% of global production. We move on. The outsourcing trend has taken place. In the 80s, 27% North America, 26%. So a little bit down, but I will jump very quickly. 1995, 2005, 2010, 25% North America, 19% Europe. Please take a look there, 38% East Asia and Central Asia. 2020, East and Central Asia constitutes 42% more than together North America and Europe in terms of global GDP. And here, when we started to hear the voices, we need to bring production back. Production has been outsourced to certain areas, East Asia, Southeast Asia, but also China increasingly in recent decades. We need to bring production back. So the trend of technology of outsourcing have taken significant part of production out. For artificial intelligence, we have something else. And it is also transformative. However, it is in terms not to relocate production to remote areas or other geographical locations, but rather to intelligent practices. In farming, instead of relying on my grandfather as of how to cultivate, how to farm, I can rely on more smart farming practices. Agricultural, again, output and how it is developed. From 61 to 90, from $1 trillion to over $2 trillion, double. If we take another period, 1990, 2010, from above 2 to only above 3 trillion, less than double. So the productivity of production in agriculture is slowing down. We need to have something similar to what have happened in corn production. Look at this chart. Same level of area harvested for corn, and look the big jump in terms of production, producing more from the same available land. That was because of applications, first of nitrogen, and secondly, genetically modified seeds. Technology can increase incredibly high the productivity when you apply technology right. Now, what are we here standing to talk about is from path-dependent knowledge, which I mean by it, grandfather knowledge. And here comes the issue of Oman itself. For Oman to increase productivity of land and to grow up in agricultural produce, they need to accumulate the experience. Farming is very local. الزراعة هي مسألة كتير محلية. تعتمد على المناخ المحلي والتربة المحلية والأرض المحلية والمي المحلية، فبدها خبرة محلية. إذا أنا ما عندي خبرة طويلة بإنتاج اقتصادي large scale بدي أخذ وقت كتير. Artificial intelligence today allows me to leapfrog إني أقفز بالإنتاج. ما أعتمد على الgrandfather knowledge but rather أعتمد على شو؟ على السمارت management. ولما بحكي artificial intelligence يعني مو بالضرورة أنا عم بحكي على robots. It is not a sci-fi kind of application. It's a smart approach to production. What matters to us as economists, as a farmer, small farmer, and you go and talk to them about artificial intelligence, how on earth I can adopt this and what is that? شو هذا الارتفيشال انتليجنس لمزارع صغير صاحب ملكية صغيرة؟ مسألة صعبة وبعيدة، شو هذا؟ It's sci-fi، خيال. What we need to do is to focus our approach externalities effects. فينا نعمل breakthrough. كنا عم نحكي على الباطنة على سبيل المثال. We can go to الباطنة area where it is specialized in vegetable production وبنجي بناخد piece of land وبنشتغل على artificial intelligence system, smart farming system for potato only. Whatever information we accumulate and the system that we develop, it will spin off to other farmers producing potato in the same area. And hence we lower the barrier of entry for small farmers to benefit. بالحقيقة هون الفارمر ما بدي منه شيء إلا إنه لما بياخد الموبايل فون تبعه اللي هو متعود يشتغل عليه، وإن عمان we have really high rate of penetration for mobile phone and mobile phone usage. We can use it for imaging, we can use it for some apps, and we can connect with agricultural centers. Secondly, specialization. We need to shift our attention from sector-based to product-based. لأعمل breakthrough ما فيني أحكي agricultural sector, it's too big. I need to make a breakthrough even in terms of approach, even in terms of technology. And to do it, you need to narrow down our focus. So specialization, that's why I started with my chart in the very beginning by saying tomato, potato, watermelon, or apricot, we need to focus on 2 product lines and to make a breakthrough in them. Clustering. For this, there is something very nice and profitable for many parties. We have universities, we have mobile phone operators, we have government agencies, and we have big farms and small farms. Together, we can create the cluster that generate this smart management system. This is an adaptation that I have borrowed from Nokia Vodafone Foundation as they have applied a system in an area in India. What we see here, the farmer is actually connecting through mobile phone to smart computer imaging, phones or satellite information connected to the supporting farmer center, agricultural center that has more capital intensive here. So the government can support, mobile phone operators can invest, and traders can invest. For the farmer is only connecting and sending and interacting with information. شو الانفورميشن؟ From farm to farm عندي soil variation, عندي slope variation, عندي adaptation of roots to fertilizer, عندي acidity of the product, time of harvesting, water needs. So بكون أنا عم بشتغل على single line كيف خفف استخدام الموارد من سماد، بذور، من مبيدات، من مياه، وعم زيد إنتاجية المحصول بactual on-time data. Oops. Significance of Oman, 2 slides. Why Oman matters in this regard. 1, the government has always been an effective leverage in development. The Omani government has always been a leverage in many sectors. So it is by nature possible. Proliferation of internet connection, something I reflected upon earlier. Basic infrastructure to connect, computer vision, satellite imaging, and instant data, and this will be facilitated by big operators and the government. Possibility to interconnect with universities and research centers, local, international. Agriculture and farming potential is high. As we said, we saw the apricot, we saw the tomato, we saw the pepper, we saw the cereals as well. Recommendations. Back to the economists, we always like to make advice and recommendation. And we hope really to have it right here. روح قلبنا نحن بس نعطي ملاحظات ونعطي نصائح، بس I hope أنه بتكون صحيحة. National strategy needs a paradigm shift. الاستراتيجية الوطنية كانت مركزة بعمان على self-sufficiency، الاكتفاء الذاتي، وحققت عمان هيك. وأنا شفت إنه الإنتاج مو قليل إذا بنظر له بإنه عم يحقق الاكتفاء الذاتي، هو حقق الاكتفاء الذاتي. بس لازم أنا أتغير باستراتيجيتي ليكون regional hub for food security, exportation, processing. Secondly, from general agro-food policies to product line. إذا بدي أشتغل potato بدي أطلع industrial potato لأعمل frozen potatoes, processing, manufacturing, exporting. 3, from simple table farming products to agro-food business, value chain approach, and to turn it into a business model. In this regard, and in specific lines, we can spill over to other products. وبهيدا الطريق اللي نحن ممكن نمشيه بنكون فعلا استفدنا من artificial intelligence in farming to Leapfrog. Thank you very much.